Greetings and welcome back to Doctor Who Revisited, my ongoing series where I go through every single Doctor Who episode from 1963 all the way up to 2022 and review them. And this one is pretty special. Probably the most special episode from the classic series and definitely one of the most special episodes in Doctor Who history, on the television side at least. Mission to the Unknown. Why is it so special? Well, first of all, it's a one-off. In the classic series, for those of you who know, every single story episode was a serialized story which was made up of several different parts, sometimes two, sometimes four, and sometimes even six, seven, and beyond. And this episode is just a one-off. It's one episode completely detached from the other two stories that came before it and after it. And what's even more special about it is this is the only episode in the TV show's history that does not feature the Doctor. Not once at all. William Hartnell is credited on this episode, but he doesn't ever appear. None of the companions show up. Even the TARDIS doesn't even appear or is even getting addressed at all. It's a completely 100% Doctor-less episode. However, here's the unfortunate part. The entire episode is missing. It's another one of those unfortunate cases of missing episodes. But this episode was actually recreated by the film students of the University of Central Lancashire. And 2012, 2013-ish, I believe. I can't remember exactly when that happened. I'm pretty sure it was sometime around the 50th anniversary. Now, full disclosure, first two times I watched this episode, I watched the reconstructed episode, which, you know, the usual image with context clues at the bottom. This time specifically, I watched the remade version with the university students, and honestly, it's about as good as you can get. Really, it's, I mean, obviously it's done on a university budget, and with university students, not actual trained professional actors, so don't expect too much out of it. But as its own thing, it does it does what it's supposed to do. It serves the purpose that it was made for, just a film experiment for these university students to see how TV show episodes were made back in the 60s, and honestly, it works on every level that it tries to do. And really, you can tell that these kids put their hearts and souls into this. And what really just seals the deal, it just ties it all in a neat little bow with a nice little cherry on top, is Nicholas Briggs voicing the Daleks for this episode. That's what really makes this recreation very, very special. This remake, I should say, very, very special and unique. Now, enough technical stuff, enough background stuff. Let's talk about the episode itself. Even without the whole specialness of the Doctor not being there and the university students thing, this being a one-off, it's a really good story. It's a really good episode, in my opinion. It's a prequel of sorts to this big, massive Dalek extravaganza that we're about to experience in a few weeks from now by relative standards. In a few episodes from now, I should say. And as a prequel, a prelude, I should say, it works really, really well. First of all, with the absence of the Doctor, we get introduced to this new protagonist in the form of Mark Corey, a member of the Space Security Force that was sent to the planet Campbell on a secret mission to investigate the Daleks. It's really doing a good job atmospherically setting us up, setting the stage, I should say, for this upcoming battle that the Doctor and friends are going to have with the Daleks. It introduces the planet Campbell really, really well. It introduces everything that's happening on Earth relatively around that same time. We get introduced to the big council of weirdos from different galaxies that team up with the Daleks for reasons unknown at this point. Again, like I said, it's a good setup for what's about to come. We see that the Daleks are planning something. We don't know what yet, but it's pretty easy to assume from this short story, I should say, that things are not looking good. In other words, the Earth is screwed. And another thing that this episode does really, really well is introduces the concept of Varga plants. Varga plants is something that's been reused in Doctor Who several times after the fact, but this is really the introduction of them, and what a great introduction it is. With the first thing we see from this episode is the guy waking up saying, "I must kill, I have to kill." And then later in the episode, we learn why he was stung by this thorny plant from the Daleks' homeworld of Skaro, a Varga plant. If you get scratched, stabbed, or even so much as touched by this thorny bush's venom, you're suddenly overflowing with hate and rage and the desire to kill and murder until eventually you become a Varga plant yourself, which is just a scary concept in and of itself. So, and not only just an introduction of a great concept, it also introduces us to something, like I said in the previous episode, a great crisis, a great conflict for the heroes of this peak to deal with. One of their own, a member of their own expedition team, has been infected with Varga venom and he's about to kill them. And Mark Corey does all his efforts to try and prevent that from happening while also getting the message back to Earth, which eventually he does manage to make the message, but he does not get to send it. He gets exterminated by the Daleks before he can do that. What happens with that message? It's a story for another time, and you're gonna have to wait a month because we got a completely different serial, a completely different 4-part serial coming after it, and then we're coming back to the Planet Campbell. So I wonder how this affected audiences back in 1964 when it happened. No, 65. Sorry, my bad. I wonder how this affected audiences back in 1965 when this actually aired. That after this big season opener with Galaxy 4, we get treated to a completely Doctor-less episode with this one, and then to jump right into like Greek mythology with the Trojan War and stuff. And then a month later, we're getting back to the Planet Campbell, and we get to see the payoff to this episode, this one weird one-off episode that we witnessed. How did that must have affected people? I wonder. If you're one of those people who were alive back then and saw that, please let me know. I'm actually really, really fascinated to see how this affected the cultural zeitgeist at the time. Like I said, please let me know if you can, and let me know what you think about this one special episode. And do you want the modern series to do more episodes like this? Now, obviously, a lot of people immediately go and focus on Blink, which is a great episode, I'll admit. But the Doctor does actually take a pretty big role to play. Probably more than people realize. I mean, the Doctor pretty much sets a lot of this stuff in the episode in motion. This episode, no Doctor, no companions, no TARDIS whatsoever. Let me know if you ever want to see another episode of the Doctor Who, the show, done in this style of storytelling. Without the Doctor, without anything we're familiar with, and then get a payoff later in the season. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I actually really like that concept. I'd like to see more of that. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. And yeah, that's really all I can say about this one-off. Now let's jump into the wild, wonderful world of ancient Greek for this next story. I'll see you then. Where's my Sonic? Yeah. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Goodbye. Hi there. Thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends. I'll see you next time.